Handling errors in your app is one of the most important things. Being that said, most of us overlook it, and even if we do implement some error alerts, they tend to be the generic something went wrong message. Let's fix this. Let's learn how you can write human-friendly alerts right now. So let's take a look at how we can write human-friendly error alerts. Now, if you are encountering this as a developer, then most probably you would just, again, go with the simple something went wrong, or maybe you just propagate the description that you got from your servers. But basically, that's not what you want. And we are going to use store.rebeloper.com/error-error alert-manager. Go ahead and check it out. We are going to learn how to write some alerts and basic SwiftUI and what's kind of the problem with them and what this error alert manager solves. Let's write some human-friendly error alerts. Now, this video is kind of my take on this post, when lives give you lemons, write better error messages. And what this basically says is that usually as developers write these lame error alerts. Whoops, something went wrong, and then we pass the blame, use some technical jargon, and the fixing of the issue is kind of generic, like try again later. Now, it suggests that we should instead say what happened. That would be the title of our alert. Then provide reassurance that everything is fine, don't worry. Your changes were saved, for example. Say why it happened, then give them a way out, what should be the fix of the problem. And if that doesn't really work, then help them fix it first, and if that doesn't work, give them a way out. So this is what I kind of built out, and that is Error Alert Manager. It's at store.rebeloper.com/error-alert-manager. And here is our example in iOS. So it's basically the same text, and this is what you are going to get. And it's really easy to set up. But before we jump into an example on Error Alert Manager, let me just show you how we would write this in Swift, basically SwiftUI. And show you what kind of those problems are. So here we have our demo project. It's just a simple demo project. We have a server error, which only has an error description. That's fine. And then we have our content view, which has a few state variables. So I go through all of the examples. And finally, our content view is, well, basically, let's just add this into a navigation stack. So we will be able to show that navigation title that we have right over here. Also, I have also drag and dropped our error alert manager, which I'm going to show you at the end of this video. Okay, so first of all, let's go and create an error alert like we usually do. And that's basically using a button. So we are going to use a button, and let's just name this trigger alert, error. So trigger error or alert, but let's just go trigger error. And I'm going to use the is error alert triggered, and I'm going to go and toggle it. And right over here, I'm just going to go alert. And what I'm going to use is basically what we usually use is the is presented and error and actions. So with is presented is $is error alert triggered. And then for the error, I'm just going to use the server error dot account connection failure. So I'm going to use the error that I got from the server. And for the actions, we don't really care about the actions for now. That's what we usually do, because then we are going to get a default OK button. So let's build and run and see how this looks like. Okay, trigger error, account connection failure, okay. But as you already know, this is kind of not what we want the users to see. They will just uninstall our app automatically. It's kind of, you can be sure about that. So what could we improve upon this? Well, we should actually add some messages, a little bit of text, and then on the title. So then let's just create another button. So that would be a button with a title, and this time around activate error, and the action then would be is on the action is error alert active. Let's just toggle it. And right over here on the alert, I'm going to use the one with is presented, actions, and message. So usually that is our next step for creating better alerts. So right over here, I'm just going to copy out these dummy text that we usually add for the title. Whoops, something went wrong. Is presented is we are binding it to the $is_alert active. Let's just have a little bit more space here. And then for the actions, let's just not add any actions because the OK button is still fine with us. And now for the message, let's add in some not so good data, but still the third party you are trying to connect isn't responding, so we can't fetch your data. Try again later. Okay, so this is a little bit better. So activate error, whoops, something went wrong, and all of that stuff. We can tap on OK. So this does have some issues because, yeah, the user is kind of scared. What's going on? What's going on with my data? So let's write an error alert with some good messages. And again, I'm going to use the same alert. First of all, let's create our button with the title of maybe show error. Okay, let's just move back. The action will be is error alert shown. Now we are going to toggle it. And right over here, let's just create an alert. Titled key is presented actions and message. So now we are going to get a little bit serious about these. So let's see on the alert. Well, actually, yeah, before we do this, let's just go a little bit back and let's do the one with the error. So we are going to have a message, but we do want to use also the error. So alert, and let's just use the one is presented error actions and message. Yeah, this is what I was trying to do. So is presented, $is error alert shown. For the error, again, we are going to use the let's see, the server error dot account connection failure. The actions, now let's just, well, maybe we don't want to use the actual error. So for the actions, what I'm going to do is just add in two buttons, a try again button, and then a contact customer support. Simple buttons, they will just print it out. And for the message, I am going to use the error. And let me just copy this out because, again, we are going to have a lot of text right over here. We are first going to create our message. Now, how do we do that? If the error does have a failure reason, then we are going to use this one. Yeah, basically, if it doesn't have, if it doesn't have, we are going to use this one. Okay, and then we are going to add in the message. So let's see how this looks like. Again, we added some buttons, added a little bit better explanation of what happened. We have a try again button, then we have a contact customer care, which is really fine. We still kind of don't have a new line right over here, so it's kind of confusing. And if you want to create multiple errors with this, then you would just need to create all of these state variables over and over again. It's kind of a pain to do all of this consistently. Okay, so here comes Error Alert Manager that will make your lives really, really easy. Again, Error Alert Manager is at store.rebeloper.com/error-alert-manager. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, so let me just show you how easy it is to set this up. First of all, let's just go back into our root of our project and let's create our Error Alert Manager. So let's just create the private state object right over here, Error Alert Manager of type, let's just jump right over there, Error Alert Manager. Okay, what we want to do is just go uses Error Alert Manager and just provide what we have just created there. Okay, so now your project has error alert manager available as an environment object, so we can just use it. But before we go into that, we want to manipulate this server error. As you saw in the previous versions, there were missing pieces. Let's just go into the localized error definition. You see, we have an error description, that's fine, but we don't have a failure reason, recovery suggestion, and a help anchor. Now, the error description is, okay, what just happened, the title, and then the failure reason is just providing what just happened. Recovery suggestion, what you should do to fix this, and help anchor, what you should do if even the recovery suggestion doesn't really work. Okay, so let's create a local error. So let's create a new file, and let's name this local error. There we go. And this will be basically, let me just have some space right over here, an enum of named local error, and that will be a localized error. And we're going to have one case. I'm going to copy this out, and it's named account connection failure, and it will be passing along our server error. So we do need to have an error passed along, and that is not a local but a localized error. And then if we do want to override that server error, we should have a boolean. So yeah, we may check true or false on that. So override, and that will be a boolean. Okay, so now it's time to add in our error description, failure reason, and all of that. So for the error description, as you can see, it's just auto-completing because it does know that this is a localized error. We are going to go through a self, so switch self, and we only have one case here, but let's just type that out. Case dot account connection failure. We're going to have an error, so let error, and then we are going to have an override, let override. Okay, let's see what we are going to do with this. First of all, we want to compose a message. Let message, and message, there we go. And that is kind of a much more readable message that we have currently getting from our server. Unable to connect your account, it's much more human friendly. Now, what do we return? Well, it's not exactly this message because maybe we want to override it. Let's just see how that looks like. So we are going to return override. So we are checking if we are overriding it. If we are overriding it, then we use the message because that's the overridden message. Otherwise, we want to make sure that we do have an error description. So error description. Otherwise, we default back to our message. And basically that's it. Now, all we need to do is just do all of these for the failure reason, the recovery suggestion, and the help anchor. So what I'm going to do is not waste time on those because they are exactly the same with different messages. I'm going to just paste them in right over here. Let's select all of our text and indent like that with Command I. Okay, so now we have our local error, then we are going to use that. It's time to move back to our content view and use the power of Error Alert Manager. Okay, so first thing first, we want to grab our Error Alert Manager. That's kind of a tongue twister. I know it's really hard. So private state environment, private environment state. So, that will be a private environment object, sorry, because we are getting it as an environment object, Error Alert Manager of type Error Alert Manager. Okay, so now we have access to it. So let's create a new button, maybe right over here at the bottom, right over here, a button at the button. Okay, so button, title and action, and let's name this, well, maybe present error. Okay, the action will be is error alert. Well, let's just see. Well, yeah, we are not going to do that because we are going to use Error Alert Manager. You know, I just got lost with all of the state variables. You don't need them right over here. So Error Alert Manager and dot present, and it's just that. So we want to present. So an error, And we could just add in here our server error, but because we already created our local error, let's just use that. So local error and dot account connection failure with our error, and that is our server error dot account connection failure. And should it be overridden, let's just override it. So let's just set this to true. Now we still have two things: recovery suggestion and help anchor, if you recall all of that logic. So let's create that. Let recovery suggestion equals, and you can have an error alert button. So this is what I want. You could just add a role in here. I'm just going to use option return to just select also the role, so you can just have an idea of what that does. Okay, so what we should do here is create the try again button. This should have maybe a destructive role, and the action will be just print out, try again. So now that we have our recovery suggestion, let's just add it right over here, and let's focus on the help anchor. Now the help anchor will be kind of the same. We are creating an error alert button. Let me just copy this out, paste it in there. We don't care about the role on this one, and the title should be basically contact customer care, and also that will just print out contact customer care with small caps. Okay, there we go. And we just add in our help anchor. So as you can see, it's as easy as it is. We create a recovery suggestion, a help anchor, and we present that error. Let's build and run and see how this looks like. So present error, and as you can see, unable to connect your account, your changes have been saved, and so forth. So we can just try again and contact customer care. Also, because we added a destructive button, there's also a cancel button automatically added. Now, what if I don't really want to have this as a destructive? So what I'm going to do is just copy this out. Let's just comment it out, and then let's remove this destructive role. Let's see if I build and run, what is going to happen. Present error, and now you see there are only two buttons. Also, maybe I just want to have a cancel button, but how do we add it right over here? Well, after the help anchor, you can just add a cancel button title, and I'm going to add in here maybe dismiss, not the default cancel button, and that will actually add in a dismiss cancel button. As you can see, it's just dismissing, yeah, it's really nice. This also works when we add in our role of destructive right over here on the try. So that will kind of override that cancel button for the dismiss title for that button. So it's really, really great. So that's how Error Alert Manager works. Go ahead and check it out. It's at store.rebeloper.com/error-alert-manager. And if you did like this video, make sure to check out my other video about how I learned to code for hours on end. It's right over here.